Hi everyone, watched Alien Romulus, really enjoyed the movie, had lots of thoughts, so I just wanted to share them with you. So Alien Romulus is directed by Fede Alvarez, I think that's how you say his name. He directed Evil Dead 2013 and Don't Breathe. Evil Dead franchise is also one of my favorite franchises. Really enjoyed that. I think the director did a great job with this movie. I think he's an excellent director, and I think he really cooked with this one. Alien Romulus is also produced by Ridley Scott. Yeah. So right off the bat, the movie looks amazing. It has an $80 million budget, which is it's a lot of money, but it's a relatively small amount for a blockbuster film. There's definitely more expensive films that look a lot worse. Absolutely, really hit it out of the park with the special effects, the cinematography, the lighting, the set design, and the audio. Everything just looks and sounds great. It is quite a visual spectacle, quite a treat to watch. In particular, the set design I think is really good. So Ridley Scott's Alien films are known for having a really strong set design. This one really carries that tradition. There is a lot of attention to detail placed in the sets and the props. Everything looks really grounded. It looks very real. It looks absolutely amazing. Practical effects for the win. There are a couple instances of, I would say, bad CGI. In particular, one of the characters, they did this CGI of an older character from the franchise, and it looks pretty awful. But I think that's just one blemish with the film. I think in general it looks really good. So your mileage may vary on the characters. The leads I found have a surprisingly compelling relationship and a compelling narrative, and it's really a big part of the plot, this relationship between two siblings, and I thought that totally worked. In particular, David Johnson, I think, does an amazing job acting. He plays essentially two characters and they contrast quite a bit, and I think he does a really good job to make these characters very relatable, very compelling. The other characters are essentially fodder. Part of the enjoyment of watching an alien film is trying to guess when the characters are going to get impaled or chest bursted. Chest bursted. Wow. Some other characters feel kind of generic or annoying or make dumb decisions, etc. That is to be expected in a film like this. One aspect of Alien Romulus that I really liked that I wasn't expecting was how it really draws influence from the science fiction genre. So I think with the Alien franchise, there's so much focus on the aliens that we forget that this is a work of science fiction and therefore criticizes a lot of human systems such as capitalism. So the Alien franchise, there definitely is this criticism of the exploitation, the dehumanization of workers by corporate entities, and this film really, again, carries that torch pretty well. The opening sequence in particular really grounds us in the main character, in Rain's life, and you sort of see, it's like a dystopian future, essentially. It definitely gives off Blade Runner vibes. You see how these workers, these miners, are exploited and how their lives are essentially run by the company. I thought it really added a lot to really grounding this film in this science fiction universe. So I thought that was really cool. I do not think that corporate exploitation is cool, though. The film seems to be getting a lot of criticism for its callbacks and fan service. To me, that didn't quite bother me as much. This is a Disney film now, and so the fan service is to be expected. Again, I don't think that it really distracted me too much from the story. There is one moment in particular where a character just directly quotes a very famous line from the previous films.
Get away from her, you bitch!
That seems to be getting a lot of hate. Again, it didn't bother me super much. I think it worked for that character. There was a unique spin on the delivery there. Was that moment 100% necessary? No, probably not. Is the reaction to this moment completely overblown? Yeah, probably. I think a lot of the backlash to the fan service may be this criticism of the film's lack of originality. It doesn't particularly evolve the franchise or anything like that, but I don't think that the movie needed to do that. We haven't had a good Alien movie since Aliens. And so this film, I think, just needed to be good, right? It just needed to resurrect the franchise. And I think that it totally did that. So the sequel, I think in the future, I think that one really needs to push the envelope, really evolve the franchise a little bit more. But I think this one worked just fine. Some people say that it is essentially like some people compare Alien Romulus to The Force Awakens, which is pretty much a remake of A New Hope. I don't think that's the case here. I don't think it's quite on that level. Again, you do see some fan service though that may not be 100% necessary, but your mileage may vary with that one. There is a nice twist at the end of the film. It is very unsettling, and it is really the stuff of nightmares. Yeah, this film kind of feels like watching a bunch of characters really suffer the worst day in hell ever. It's really enjoyable. The movie is marketed as a return to form, return to horror. I don't think that this film is quite horrific, if I could say that. I do consider it more of a thriller. There are some really intense sequences, some really suspenseful moments that are creatively put together, and I really enjoyed it. It doesn't quite have the horror element of knowing that there's an alien out there stalking you. You do see the alien quite a bit in this movie. There is a lot of action, specifically in the later part of the film. So I wouldn't quite say that it is a return to horror, but I think that it is a thrilling, suspenseful movie. Definitely kept me on edge, and I really enjoyed it overall. Those are my thoughts on Alien Romulus. I really enjoyed the movie. I hope that you also enjoyed this video. So please go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment. Would love to interact with you a little bit more. I am new to the YouTube scene and really just trying this out and trying to make new friends, trying to put out some cool content out there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you all on the flip side.